Come closer, children. Gather round the fire, let its warmth chase away the chill. For the story I'm about to tell you is a cold one, a tale as old as the mountains and as deep as the darkest sea. This is the story of Luwalhati, the Aswang who dared to love a mortal man long, long ago, when the moonlight silvered the ancient forests of Panay. A clan of Aswangs held dominion over the shadows. They were creatures of hunger and the night, feared and whispered about but never seen. Among them was Luwalhati. Her beauty was a thing of legend, with eyes the color of ripe tamarind and hair as black as a gathering storm. She was a hunter, swift and silent, a true daughter of the darkness. But destiny has a strange way of weaving its threads. One night, while hunting by the river, her eyes fell upon a man, not as prey, but as something else. His name was Daniel, a simple fisherman whose laughter was as bright and clear as birdsong at dawn. He was a man of kindness, his heart as open as the sky, always ready to share his catch with those who had none. Night after night, Luwalhati found herself drawn to the riverbank, not by the scent of blood, but by the warmth that radiated from him. She watched him, a silent guardian in the trees, her monstrous nature warring with a feeling she had never known. Then, one evening, a sudden storm descended, a furious squall that overturned his small boat, casting him into the churning waters. Without a second thought, Luwalhati dove in her powerful form cutting through the waves. She pulled him from the river's cold embrace and carried him to the shore. When Daniel's eyes fluttered open, he saw her, a vision in the pale moonlight, her skin like porcelain, her amber eyes shimmering with an emotion he couldn't name. He should have been terrified. He should have run. Every story he'd ever heard screamed that he should flee, but he didn't. In that moment, looking at the creature who had saved him, Daniel fell in love, and she, a creature born of night and shadow, loved him back with a fierce, all-consuming passion. Their love was a forbidden flame in a world that sought to extinguish it. Luwalhati's clan warned her. "You cannot build a life on a lie," her mother hissed. "Love cannot survive where hunger reigns." They told her she would bring ruin upon them all, but Luwalhati, blinded by love, turned her back on her kin, on her very nature. She swore off the hunt, left the shadowed forests, and chose to live among humans, concealing the monster within. For a while, their life was an idyll. They built a small hut by the sea, its walls echoing with laughter and love. Soon their happiness was multiplied when Luwalhati gave birth to a daughter, a child of both worlds, strangely beautiful, with eyes that held a faint, otherworldly glow in the twilight. They named her Emihun, after the gentle breeze that caressed their home. It seemed their impossible love had triumphed, but happiness, especially when built on secrets, is as fragile as a seashell. Whispers began to slither through the village, like snakes in the tall grass. A farmer's chickens were found dead, drained of blood. A stray dog vanished without a trace. Fear, an old and potent poison, began to seep into the hearts of the villagers. "An Aswang," they murmured, their eyes darting into the shadows. "There is an Aswang among us. And Daniel ... her beloved Daniel ... began to change." The light in his eyes dimmed, replaced by a flicker of suspicion. He started to avoid her touch. His hands that once held her with such tenderness now flinched away. The same lips that had whispered promises of forever began to mutter prayers for protection. The warmth she had fallen in love with was growing cold, replaced by the icy grip of fear. The inevitable night arrived, carried on a wave of paranoia and hatred. The villagers came, their faces monstrous in the flickering torchlight, brandishing bolos and sharpened bamboo, and leading them, his face a mask of conflict and terror, was Daniel. Luwalhati stepped out of their home, her heart shattering. "Please," she begged, her voice trembling, "I am your wife. This is our home." She reached for him, for the man she had given up everything for. But he looked away, unable to meet her gaze. And then he thrust a spear into her chest. Pain, sharper than any blade, tore through her. It was not the pain of the weapon, but the agony of his betrayal. The villagers, emboldened by their leader's act, set fire to the small hut, believing the flames would purify their community, would burn away their fear. They left her for dead amidst the burning embers of her life and her love. But an Aswang's curse is not so easily broken. Luwalhati did not die, fueled by a grief that had curdled into unimaginable rage. She crawled from the ashes of her home, her heart a gaping wound of love and wrath. Her humanity was burned away, leaving only the monster reborn in the fire of betrayal. And now, the old storytellers say, her spirit remains. When the moon hangs full and heavy in the sky, and the sea is as still and dark as glass, you can sometimes see her, a lone figure walking the shores of Panay, her long black hair trailing behind her like smoke. In her arms, she cradles the ghostly form of her child, a babe whose faint laughter sends a shiver down the spine of the bravest man. She wanders forever, a specter of broken promises, whispering a vow to the wind, a curse upon the world that wronged her. All who betray love will feel my vengeance. All who raise fire against my kind will burn in a fire of their own making. And so it was. One by one, the descendants of that village met strange and terrible ends, their hearts torn from their chests, their bodies left pale and cold, the name Luwalhati a final, horrified whisper on their lips. So, listen well to this old tale. If you ever find yourself walking a lonely beach at night and see a woman nakingly beautiful, sorrowful, and barefoot in the moonlight, do not be tempted. Do not meet her gaze. And whatever you do, do not offer her your heart. Because some hearts, once they are broken, can never truly heal. They only hunger. Thank you for listening to my story tonight. If you enjoy Tylee's From the Shadows, don't forget to like this video and follow our channel for more legends and lore. Stay safe and mind the darkness.